This week in class, we are going to be working on your modernizing project. Before you start working with your partners to determine how you will set up your stage in the classroom, I wanted to give you a little background on Shakespeare's stage. As you can see on the screen, this is what the Globe Theater looked like. Before he owned the Globe, he worked for a theater and it was creatively titled The Theater. But the lease was up, they decided not to renew, and so he and a few playwright friends got together and they decided they wanted to own and build their own theater. And so this is where the Globe came from. As you can see into it, there were various aspects to it. Obviously, you have the thrust stage pulling out into the audience. You had some viewers standing around the stage, and then some had the luxury of being able to sit in the balcony surrounding the stage. We are going to go into who got to sit and stand where and basic other elements of the stage itself. So, enjoy.
So this is a zoomed in view of the Globe Theater stage. To give you some background, it was built in 1599 by Shakespeare, and then it was destroyed in 1613 during one of his performances where a cannon misfired, hit the ceiling, and it burned to the ground. Fortunately, it was rebuilt and you can go back there today to view performances and tour the building. To give you some perspective on Shakespeare's audience, if you were poor, you had to stand in the pit. You had to pay a penny, and you were able to surround the stage. These were not the best conditions, standing and the loud noises around you. The rich people had a little more advantage. They were able to sit in this covered balcony surrounding the stage, so it was a little more comfortable. The best seats in the house were reserved for the royalty. They were able to sit in the penthouse. It was covered. It was above the stage. They had the best viewing perspective possible. So keep this in mind when you are determining who your audience is and where they will sit. Now, having determined where your audience will be, let's look at how you will stage the performance. So during Shakespeare's time, they didn't have too many special effects, which you're kind of limited down to because you're confined to the classroom. Some of his special effects, he had a trapdoor, which was in the middle of the stage, and it was a door leading to underneath the stage. So if you wanted to drop down or have the dead come out of it, that's what he did. He also had the element at the back of the stage. You can see a wide open space or a door. This is where regular commoners would walk in and out onto his stage. And then lastly, his best special effect was the heavens. This was very new for the times. And basically the roof over the stage had a kind of cutout in it. And from there, actors could secretly be attached to a crane and then lowered down onto the stage. This was very new for the times. And it created a wonderful experience for the audience to view while they were seeing the performance. So they had the element of seeing actors come out of the stage or being lowered down onto it. This was very new and very exciting. So keep this in mind for your performance. How will you make it interesting? Where will your actors enter and exit the scene? If somebody is going to drop down, how will you make it seem like they are going below the stage? If you're going to have somebody drop in, where will they come from? So think of these elements and ways to make your scene unique.
The last element to staging your performance is the actors. In Shakespeare's time, females were not allowed to be actors or actresses, so only males were allowed to play the roles. So males would play all of the adult roles, and then in order to get that young sounding voice, that female voice, they used young boys as the actors for those elements. Obviously, you're wondering, how do they cover up the male figure, the male face? And so they just used costumes to do this. They had long skirts that were big and puffy to create that hourglass shape. They used wigs to make their hair longer, and then they put makeup on their face to make their features more feminine in detail. So this is where you need to determine who are your actors going to be. Are you going to try to have an all-male cast? Are you going to try to have an all-female cast? Are you going to have boys play girls and girls play boys, or vice versa? Are you going to have it the different ways? So just be creative with it, and keep in mind that Shakespeare didn't have as many options as you do. So try to be creative with your costuming and makeup and your actors. And good luck. I look forward to seeing your performances.